To the jungle. Today's quote of the day, number 35, and it's by Dave Chappelle, who obviously is one of the great comedians of all time, and is certainly one of the best that's been doing it currently for the past 25 years now. Before we get started with Dave's quote, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Appreciate all feedback as always. So the first quote of Dave: "I'm cool with failing so long as I know that there are people around me that love me unconditionally." And I think that's a really cool quote. We all want that support, that support network that we have to fall back on. I think that makes it easier to take risks. Dave certainly recognizes that failing is a part of the process, getting on stage, telling a new joke, failing and overcoming that and using that experience is what produces success. And I think, obviously after the monster success he had with the Comedy Channel, he felt overwhelmed by that success, in the early 2000s, and took probably about a decade off, just to kind of gather his thoughts and figure out what his next step was. But I think he did that because he knew he had his family's backing. They were behind him. They knew what he needed, to get himself to be where he wanted to be. So I think he has a strong family and friend network that allowed him to do that instead of crashing and burning if he didn't have that. So you got to give the guy a lot of credit, because he walked away from tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars when he made that move. Second quote by Dave: "If I put forth a legitimate effort, then I feel like if that doesn't work out, that's all I can do." And I think he's absolutely right. It's all about preparation, opportunity, and execution. Do your best. If that didn't work, that doesn't work, reevaluate, try again. Not everything that we do is going to be a success. Again, a lot of these videos have to do with failing and restarting, failing and trying something different. But if you do your best, what else is there? Do the best you can. Like I said, reevaluate, pivot, and figure out what you can do to make it better, or change it up to do something different that's just as good or better. So that's it for today. 2 quotes by Dave, and my take on how that plays out in the real world. I appreciate your time, and again, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and have a great start to the week this next week. Take care. Bye.